Welcome back, fellow value investors. In this video, I'm going to be covering a mining company by the name of BHP. This company is located down in Australia, and they mine for copper, iron ore, coal, and other materials that are needed for the world economy. They release financials twice a year, and the next set they'll be releasing will be in February. But they did release some production data that I'm going to be using to update my analysis in this company and make a decision whether I should buy more shares of BHP, hold the shares that I own, or sell my shares in BHP. Before I jump into my analysis, if you could please like my video and subscribe to my channel, that'd be great. Now let's get into BHP. I'm going to take BHP through my investing process for stocks, which leads me to look at three main areas of BHP. First is the company. I want to put myself in the shoes of an owner, a fractional owner of the company. Do I like the business? Do I like the industry? Do I like the management team? Next, do I like the balance sheet? Is their debt under control and less than 3x EBITDA? And last, stock price. Am I getting a big discount, big enough to warrant me buying more shares? I'm a value investor and I buy investments at a discount. And based on what I find in those three areas, I'll buy, hold, or sell. BHP has been a mining company for some time, and they have great specialization and experience in finding where they should be mining, developing those mines, getting the materials that they extract, getting them out to markets, selling them, and then putting that land back to a usable state once all the materials they want are extracted. Very experienced company, operates very well safely for its employees. I like mining companies because it's frankly one of the oldest industries we have. And the materials that they extract, for example, nickel, it's in big demand for all these electric vehicles that are being produced. Copper, always in big demand. So the demand for these materials is high. And I like that about the industry. The management team's excellent. So across the board, I like the company, industry, and management team. BHP has a fiscal year that started July 1st, 2023, and therefore their first quarter ended at the end of September. They didn't release financials for that first fiscal quarter, but they did release production, how many units and tonnage they produced. And to lead with, copper had a really nice rise. And I like that material because copper is in high demand, it's scarce, and just about every amount of copper that's produced is consumed. We have so many electronics in the world. We have so many updates on our electrical grid and our electrical products that copper is just a really good commodity. Iron ore did go down. Metallurgical coal did go down. They had a rise in energy coal, and then they had a reduction in nickel. So some of the commodities did go down, and two commodities did go up. I'm happy to see copper go up because it's more of the expensive materials. So overall, I think it's pretty even with last year. I'm liking that copper went up because that might make revenues rise in that first quarter of the fiscal year. But we'll see once they release their financials in early February. Looking at the prices for these commodities, the price of copper did go down, so that's going to be a headwind. Iron ore did go down. Metallurgical coal did go down. Energy coal went down substantially, and nickel went down. So commodity prices are down. That's a pretty stiff headwind into revenues and profit and likely free cash flow. So I'll take that into account as I update my valuation of BHP. I updated my analysis on BHP using that production data and the new commodity prices that were released. And I believe that BHP is currently discounted by 28%, meaning that each share, I think, is valued at around $80.68. But the stock market will sell you shares at $62.94. I value the company using the free cash flow discounted method, and I also discount earnings per share to get to a current value of the stock. Let's take a look at discounted free cash flows first. I'm taking what I expect in this year's free cash flow. And then I'm not going to grow it. I'm actually going to take the free cash flow down over the next 4 years. I mentioned that commodity prices are down. Production is about the same, but those commodity price decreases are a little worrying. It's a headwind. In long-term growth, I'll grow by 3%, and that'll be my terminal value. And I'm going to take all these free cash flows that are expected in the future, discount them by 10%, and I get to an intrinsic value of those cash flows of $240 billion. is they have a quality balance sheet. I'm going to add the cash, which is 9.6 billion, and take away the debt, which is 12.6 billion. And I get to an equity value of $237.6 billion of value. The company has a market cap of 159.5 billion. Therefore, it produces a value per share using the discounted free cash flow method of $95.15. Each share is being sold for $62.94. So using the free cash flow method, I get a discount of 51%. Earnings per share is expected to be $5.44 for this fiscal year. And the number I'm going to take against a PE of 12. And I'm going to use a growth rate of 3%. Based on those factors, I'm going to discount those free cash flows to get to a value per share using a earnings per share method. I get to a stock price of $51.74, which is actually lower than their current stock price of $62.94. So if we look at the earnings per share method, they're being sold at a premium of 18%. I'm going to blend these two numbers, putting more weight in the free cash flow method, and I get to a 28% blended discount on BHP. The balance sheet is in very good health. If I look at net debt, compare it times EBITDA, it's less than 1, and I'm looking for less than 3 as a ratio. So the balance sheet's a high quality balance sheet. Looking at where the stock has traded over the last 12 months, it had a really quick rise at the beginning of 2023. It rose above $70 per share. But ever since then, it's been a pretty volatile period for the stock. And it was actually really discounted during the months of September and October. It's seen a nice rise here more recently. Very nice to see. And I do see a discount between the current share price and where I believe the company is valued. Year to date, the company is up just slightly at 2.5%. But when you add the dividend of 5.4%, that's a pretty good return, not keeping up with the S&P, but it is a cyclical stock. And if commodity prices rise, you're going to see the stock price really jump. And it's a really nice dividend rate that they pay. So should I buy, hold, or sell BHP stock? Let's take a look. First with the company, do I like the business? Do I want to be a part owner of that business? Do I like the industry? And do I like the management team? And the answer to all three is yes. I think they're clicking on all cylinders. And as commodity prices change, this company continues to be profitable, generate free cash, and have a solid balance sheet. So I like the company. It's a cyclical company. Right now, commodity prices are down. So the performance is not great, but it's understandable. Next is balance sheet. I want a clean balance sheet. I don't want a bunch of problems on the balance sheet. And they have a quality balance sheet. They have low debt. They really manage their balance sheet well. So I give them a check mark there. Stock price, they do provide a discount, but since it's a cyclical stock, I don't think the discount is big enough. It's a good discount for a dividend investor potentially, but I'm a value investor. I want a bigger discount on a company like this. It's an Australian company. I'm in the US, so it's a little riskier for me to buy into Australia. And it being a cyclical stock, there's also risks there that what if commodity prices really go down? BHP will suffer. So therefore, I'm going to hold my shares of BHP. I'm glad that I own their shares. I'm going to be a long-term holder. But for now, I'm going to hold my shares and not buy any additional shares of BHP. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it interesting and found something new about BHP. Do me a big favor and like my video and subscribe to my channel. And please leave a comment on BHP as well as the mining industry. What do you think of this company and the industry? Thanks again for watching.